What up? It's Ace G. Back with another topic, back with another video. So the title of this video is going to be, is Donald Trump still the GOAT of all presidents? So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribers that subscribe to my channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. So let's get into it. So, is Donald J. Trump the GOAT, or still the GOAT of all presidents? So I had a person that commented on my first video that I made about this months ago. I want to say I made that video summer of last year, where he was campaigning for the presidency. And they just commented on the video today, and they said that they would like to hear a follow-up as far as like what I think now in June of 2025, and and seeing what he's done since he's been the president for the second time, and all these things that he's done during that time. Like basically, like, what do I feel now, right? Do I really still feel that he's the GOAT of all presidents? And the short answer is yes, I do. So here's the reason why I say that. So one of the main reasons is that he still won the presidency, even though there was a lot of things that could have prevented him from being the president, as far as like him being charged with a lot of things, him going to trial. I'm pretty sure a lot of folks that have followed the campaign and have followed him those 2 years before he won the presidency, there's a lot of things that were against him. A lot of things, things that, the normal person trying to run probably wouldn't have stood a chance to win, right? And, that really shows like how law works in the United States, and what, hold on, y'all. How you doing? And like I said, it really says a lot when it comes to like how the law is in the United States, and what a president can do, or a potential president can do that technically is against the law, but it doesn't prevent him or her from winning the presidency. And he navigated through all those things and still won the presidency, right? First time I think that a president has ever been able to do this with all these negative things was behind him during this time, right? So I'm not saying this to big him up. I'm not saying this to say that like, he's a very good person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have their faults. Everybody have their negative things about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Now, every single president that has been a president has had something on them that, that the American public didn't really like that much, right? You have presidents that are loved by a lot of folks and was still hated by folks at the same time, right? Now, I will say that probably a lot of folks hate him more than other presidents. I totally get that, because of some of the things that he's done since he's been the president for the second time. But GOAT status, in my opinion, doesn't necessarily equate to what he's done as he's been president, right? GOAT status, to me, in this context, means what he had to face and what he had to overcome to become the president, right? And I'm not going to get philosophical with all these things, because I can go back and forth all day long in the comments with folks, giving their grievances about what he's done, how they destroyed their family, all these other things. And I'm not going to say that you're not valid by saying that. I totally acknowledge that a lot of things he's done recently have destroyed a lot of folks before. It's like job loss and reducing government programs, totally eliminating some programs, right? And there's something that I agree with, something I don't agree with, you know what I'm saying? But that goes without saying, even with other presidents that have been president since I've been an adult. There's a lot of things that presidents have done since I've been an adult that I didn't agree with. A lot of things that I didn't agree with that President Bush did when he was president. A lot of things I didn't approve of when President Obama was president, right? So the thing is that, the more you complain, the more things stay the same. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you can do or nothing you can say that's going to change the outcome of the election. There's nothing you can say or do that's going to change your outcome as far as like how things are being navigated right now in this day and time. Only thing you can do is pivot and roll with the punches. That's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? When people come up here on social media or any other platform and they complain about what Donald Trump has done, all you're doing is you're releasing your emotions, and I guess it makes you feel better by saying that you don't like him. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't change your outcome. What you need to do is stop complaining about what he's done and figure out how you can navigate through life off of what he's done, right? Because like I said, there's still a lot of things that I think have been put in place at this time that was needed. And, you know, another thing that a lot of folks, I guess, missed or didn't realize was that a lot of things that he's doing right now, he talked about this stuff when he was president the first time, right? I know a lot of folks have brung up Project 2025. I made a video about that as well. But a lot of folks brung up Project 2025 and some of the things that were in there. And, you know, a lot of times when he's come up on platforms, he said he didn't know about it. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We really don't. We don't know. But like I said, there's a lot of things that he's doing right now that he talked about doing before he became president the second time. He was talking about this stuff during the first time he was president, right? A lot of folks decided to vote for him because, let's be real, right? A lot of folks voted for him because they did not want a woman president. The economy was crazy at the time, right? And a lot of folks felt that the Democratic Party was not going to make the economy any better. They know that Donald Trump was a businessman. And they thought that he was able to get into the presidency and do a lot of things that would help the economy, right? But, you know, at this time, the economy is trash. The job market is cooked. And it's not even 6 months into the presidency. But like I told a lot of folks up here on YouTube and even in my personal life, that a lot of things he's doing right now is not going to, how can I say this? I'm not going to say it's not going to last. I'm saying that there's a lot of things he's doing right now that's not going to affect the economy in the long run, right? If anything, a lot of things he's doing right now is going to better the economy in the long run. And you got to understand this. As a president, he only has but so much power to do certain things, right? A lot of things that happen in this world, especially in America, is ran by people that have a lot of money, right? He has a lot of money too. I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of stakeholders and there are a lot of folks that are empowered. They obviously are not the president, but they have a lot of influence on certain policies that happen in America, right? This happened with him. This happened with all other presidents as well, right? So putting all your negative energy on Donald Trump is not helping your situation. It's just not, man. It's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you not to stop talking bad about him, because that's your business. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like that you're gonna feel better by doing that, then that's fine. You know, it's a free country, and freedom of speech is real, right? So, you know, be thankful that you can actually say things about him and not get locked up, or even worse. Because I'm telling you, being in the Army for 20 years and being in other countries, I'm telling you, man, some of the smallest things that folks have said about the president will have you locked up in other countries, like off rip. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a game. You know what I'm saying? So just be thankful that you're able to even put your grievances out, because a lot of times in other countries, that's not the case, right? And, you know, peaceful protests is allowed in the United States. So if you really are adamant about change and you're adamant about him not being a good president, then protest, right? Write your congressman, set up protests. I'm not saying set up protests like to do things that are crazy. I'm not saying that at all. Lawful protests, right? Because you can do that in America. So there are some things that you can do to voice your opinion on certain things, to get the government to listen and understand, how things are going. But for me to say that he is not the GOAT of all presidents because it's the things that he's done now in the present, I can't say that, man. I cannot say that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, in context, I said that he was because of the potential of him being the president. And I called it. He won the presidency. It could have been because, the Democratic Party had a weak candidate. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of things that he overcame to become the president. A lot of things. And, I can't say that what he's doing is going to definitely change America for the better. Can't say that, you know what I'm saying? But you also got to understand as well that, a lot of times when presidents do certain things, they get counsel from other people to navigate those certain things, right? And of course, this is not him making decisions off willy-nilly and like, I'm just gonna do it because I want to. That's not the case, man. It just isn't, you know what I'm saying? There's too many influences, in that circle where he has to take counsel from certain folks to do certain things. So anyways, I know the person that commented on that video wanted me to give my insight and to give my opinion on what I really feel right now about it. I don't feel any different, really. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And this is coming from a person that actually had lost their job because of Doge, because of what the president has done, right? And, as a man, you got to stand on business. You got to stand on your decisions, right? And you got to make sure that, that if you make a decision about certain things that, it's not to say, you should backtrack or say that you was wrong, because if I was wrong, I was wrong. I would say that if I thought I was wrong. But I'm not, because the results are here. He became the president, you know what I'm saying? So that's the context that I was in when it came to me making that video. And I know I got a lot of heat from that video. But, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody got their own opinion. Everybody got their own ways, their own way of thinking about things. And, in this day and age, you have to be strong, man. You got to be strong-minded. And, if you lost your job, if you lost a lot of things because of policy that's been passed since you've been president, then you can't fold. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing, man. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We discuss the topic or subject, then the benefit to your channel. Email me at asog757@gmail.com. My email address just below. Say so G, signing out. I'm gone.